Are you an established small business owner or aspiring entrepreneur? Would you like professional advice to help your business grow and succeed? Well, look no further. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is the territory's #1 resource to move your business forward. Enjoy no-cost advising, low-cost training, and technical assistance from experts in both the public and private sectors. The VISBDC is nationally accredited and sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration. Visit us at our locations on St. Thomas, St. John, or St. Croix, and follow us on social media at VISBDC. For easy access to all our training and networking events, be sure to join our newsletter and download the VISBDC app. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center, here to help your business start, grow, and succeed.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Leveraging Your Capability Statement for Business Growth. The VISPDC is in collaboration with the VI Apex. Today's session will educate business owners interested in pursuing government contract needs on how to develop a capability statement as a prerequisite to submitting a quote, bid, or proposal. Participants will learn how to make their business's unique value proposition work. This will be a business owner's primary marketing tool in government contracting. Today's lead presenter is VI Apex State Director Frank Dixon. Mr. Frank Dixon is the State Director for the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator Program. Mr. Dixon currently has 8+ years with the Apex Accelerator Program, previously serving as the Connecticut State Director and a current member of the program's national board. Mr. Dixon is a decorated U.S. military veteran with 20+ years providing senior level strategic planning, leadership, and labor management, holding numerous roles in various industries such as military, defense contracting, aerospace, automotive, manufacturing, business ownership, nonprofit, and higher education. Mr. Dixon has a formal certification in contract negotiations from the Matford Group and degrees in business administration and engineering and operations management. Here's a friendly reminder to put your questions in the chat, and they will be addressed by the presenting team either directly in the chat or later during our question and answer segment. A copy of the presentation will be attached to the post-serving email. We encourage you to take a few minutes after the live event to fill out that survey that lets us know how we're doing. So without further ado, State Director Dixon, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sharika, again, and always glad to assist and participate with helping you as a strategic partner in the Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center as we both work together here in the territory to grow our businesses. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, as we're going to be focused on how to leverage capability statements to grow your business in the federal government and any government sector and subcontracting sector. But before we get started, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator and who we are and what we do before we get into our core presentation for today. The Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator offers free contracting services to businesses looking to sell their products and services to the federal, state, local government, and any subcontract opportunities to prime contractors. We're 100% funded by the federal government via the Department of Defense, Office of Small Business Programs. We're under the umbrella of the University of the Virgin Islands in a grant capacity, and we help businesses compete in the government marketplace. It could be federal, state, local, city, in any capacity. As you know, federal contracts are not geographically bound, so we can help you go after contracts in any state, any territory, anywhere a federal government presence is. We have 96 Apex accelerators throughout the United States and its territories. The Virgin Islands Apex is one of the newest ones. And we're a member of the National Apex Accelerator Alliance, which currently has close to 700 professionals across 300 offices in territories in the United States. Some of our core services that we offer for free at the VI Apex to our clients, we offer contract administrations. We help you review the contracts, proposals, any post-award contracts that you might win. And we do a lot of these things in one-on-one counseling. We provide that hands-on, walk you through and help you understand and provide that training and education to our clients to assist you build your government contracting acumen. You can do it in person, virtually, in our office, at a client site. We also assist with database administration. If you want to do business in the federal government space or go out the federal government certifications, the key entry point is your sam.gov registration. We hand walk you through that, help you understand the key criteria that you're going to need to register in SAM. What documents do you need? What industry codes fit your best products and services? Ensuring that you have your tax ID number. You need to have all those things from when we help you register in sam.gov. The PIEE system, the payment system that you need to be registered in when you're trying to, submit your invoices or get paid off your invoices in the federal government space as a prime contractor, and any state registrations. We help you understand how to register and go after local contracts, not only just in the Virgin Islands, but any state and territory that you might want to do business in. Continuing on with some of our services, we help you best fit what's best fit as a subcontractor opportunities, because a lot of people want to be a subcontractor, not a direct contractor in the government space. Sometimes it's an easier path to be a subcontractor under a prime contractor than going after the direct contract. You don't have to do all the administrative logistical aspects of doing the direct contracting. You can just receive that subcontract. We help you best position yourself. And what we're going to talk about today, the capability statement, is going to help you be able to understand how to market yourself to potential prime contractors to get subcontracting work. Help you through the bid match process, preparation. We offer an internal bid match database that we build your profile based on your industry codes and keywords, and we go out and search. That algorithm goes out and search the geographic footprint that you want to search in. If you just want to do business in the Virgin Islands, if you want to do business anywhere, that algorithm will go out and find opportunities if they're virtually listed that will hit on your industry keywords or codes. We provide the education and trainings specific to our client base to help you understand how to continue to know what's going on, like the webinar today. We do webinars, seminars, workshops, matchmaker events. We also help you understand what's new in cybersecurity, because there are a lot of protocols that are in place that are coming down. If you're in that government contracting place, to help you understand what you need on your computers, around your physical plant, any aspects of protecting and requirements, and when you're in the government contracting space that you might need to be aware of. And foreign ownership and control and influence. There are a lot of companies that have foreign partners, and we want to make sure you understand some of the federal government requirements and state requirements as to how to vet and go after and note, if a foreign partner has certain controls of your company and what's allowed and what's not allowed. But these things are very important in today's world. We continue on with our services, big certifications, socially and economically disadvantaged certifications on the federal government side and on the state side. There are obligations that the federal government and some state government have to contract with businesses with these certifications. And one of the great things about your Apex accelerators is that we work with you again on how to identify whether you're qualified based on your gender, ethnicity, veteran status, geographic location, if you're eligible for some of these certifications, which are key, especially when it comes to subcontracting and going after set-aside awards. We educate and train you and hand walk you through these registrations as well. And one of the big things that we're going to talk about today, we assist you with creating structured, government-friendly, as we like to call it, capability statement to be used in a marketing and outreach capacity, and to be able to promote and solicit and market your capabilities as a company. And we call it government-friendly, and we'll talk about it a little bit later because we help you craft it and take out the minutia, make it measurable, make it noted. Who am I? What do we do? Who do we sell it to? What do we certify? And what industry and location do we do business? So those are some of the key aspects of our services. They're all free. And we're going to talk about a little bit more of that. Now, what clients are we looking for generally to be an Apex Accelerator clients? First, we want you to be a registered for-profit businesses or innovator. The government, especially the federal government, is looking for new innovative products, new technology-based type products that might not be ready for market or could be innovative. They're looking for that they can assist you sell in various capacities. But our core competency does not revolve around nonprofit space, although we will come talk to various industry nonprofits and educate their business clientele. We prefer you to be headquartered in the U.S. Virgin Islands territory because there are 90 plus Apex accelerators, and we try to keep it geographically located for our business clientele. That doesn't mean we won't help you, but we try to refer you in the region that you're headquartered. We want you to have applicable technical knowledge and capacity. It's very important that you're able to maneuver virtually on computer through databases, and you have that aptitude to have someone in your business that can maneuver through that. Because a lot of things, mostly everything now is web-based, and you got to have some general technology insight into that. We prefer you to have past performance history of selling your products and services. Quite often we'll get businesses who are starting up or have an idea. That's not our core constituency with the Apex Accelerator. Not to say that if you're a professional nurse, doctor, certified professional, we might look at that based on years of experience and your certifications. If you don't have past performance history, but because you might have that history with another company, but you do have a certification or in working in a particular field. So we'll evaluate that piece. If not, we'll refer you to our partners here at the Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center to provide that initial education and training to get you up and going. And then after that, you can come back and see us after you're performing and selling. We want you to have a valid email address and internet access. And we need you to be registered in our database at www.viapex.org. So those are some of the general requirements that we look for our client base. We have multiple locations. We are located in St. Thomas, UVI, the University 13D Innovation Center. We also have a new office in St. John in the marketplace there in St. John, and St. Croix and Peters Rest, servicing our St. Croix businesses. So we want to make sure that we cover the Virgin Islands. We currently have assisted multiple clients. We have 250 clients in our database, and they've won in excess of almost $50 million. And we've only been up and running here for about 2 years in the Virgin Islands. So please visit us, our website. Now, let's get into our presentation overview and agenda for today. Today's presentation will cover the purpose, structure, and strategies on how to use your capability statement to drive business growth for you if you're looking in the government contracting marketplace. So our agenda, we're going to talk about why have a capability statement for your business, what should you have in your capability statement, and how to market that capability statement accordingly. We at the Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator, we have a capability template that we assist our clients through with. We provide that for free, and we provide hands-on advisory services to help you craft that capability statement to best suit your needs and how to solicit. And we're going to talk about some of those things today. What's in a government-friendly type of capability statement, and what is it used for? Why have one? It's very, very important because that capability statement can be used as a marketing tool, right? It's a door opener to new agencies to be able to solicit them in various capacities. It acts as that tool to represent you and your business by providing some of the things that I mentioned. Who are we? What do we do? Where do we do it? What do we do? What certifies us to do it? What separates us from our competitors? And who have we done business with? Real clean and simple. And it's a great tool to be able to use to market yourself. And sometimes it's a requirement in many government bid opportunities. Not all bid opportunities require you to submit a capability statement. So what you don't want to do is respond to a solicitation more than what they ask for. A lot of times the contracting officers or people reviewing your bids are looking for reasons to not move you forward. And often businesses will provide too much documentation that's not asked for. And often they're not given the consideration because some bids have hundreds of responses. So we want to make sure that if it's asking for your capability statement that you include it, but if it does not, we don't want to include anything additional in any bid response that's not being asked for. It also provides an overview of your qualifications and certifications, sets you apart from your competition. Because it identifies some of the details and value and that your services and products offers and the different aspects of who you are and what you're trying to do. And it also provides a visual proof of past performance with who you've done business with, when did you do it, and their point of contact to contact them with. That's very important when we're doing that. And we offer that guidance at the Apex Accelerator when we work on our clients through structuring their individual capability statement. Let's continue on, with why have a government-friendly capability statement? It's a door opener, right? It's an introductory version used to begin a relationship to building that process. Either if you are, and it's targeted to the decision makers. Who are you sending that capability statement to? And we're going to talk about it a little bit later. You're sending it to the decision makers who are the procurement professionals, your small business liaison offices. We'll talk about that, which are located in your prime contractors' offices. Figuring out who makes the decision and who do you need to get your capability statement in front of. And we also assist you to craft that capability statement in a way that's targeted to that particular agency and or business, because it's very important. Because what we don't want to do is have content that's not relevant to that particular business or industry. Even if you have multiple services and products, you want to make sure that capability statement is targeted towards that particular business that you're soliciting. It's often required in RFPs, request for proposal responses, or RFIs, request for information, or follow-up to a specific solicitation. maybe you're meeting someone in person, or someone has reached out to you for your capability statement. And we often regularly advise our clients to have your capability statement on your website. You might have a government tab we suggest. You have services, contact us. There's nothing wrong with having a government tab where your capability statement is in a PDF downloadable version that people can access. A lot of contracting professionals like to go to your website, find a government tab, and be able to see your capability statement either on that page or be able to download accordingly. A lot of things are done virtually now. Via email, website, blog, LinkedIn. All those things are important when you're looking to be able to position your capability statement in the proper locations for your efficiency and productivity in government contracting. Now let's move into when to use your capability statement in an introductory capacity. We want to use it as a means of introducing your company to potential business partners, right? At trade shows, matchmaker events, industry days, right? And like I also said, consider adding it to your website. It's interested in subcontracting, teaming, and joint venture capacity. A good, clean capability statement that people can take away and remember who you are, that's not filled with too much jargon. We're going to talk about the contents of a capability statement a little bit later. Right. Now, structure of your a good capability statement, and as we talk about marketing it. The core of our presentation today is marketing that capability statement, but it's also important to understand what's in that capability statement and the general structure. And we're only going to talk about the general aspects today. As a VI Apex Accelerator client, we get into more detailed and more structured and hands-on of forming that capability statement, right? So the first thing we want to do is call it a capability statement. Call it at the top. Make sure it's very visible that this is your capability statement and not a flyer or not a some sort of advisory document. That way it lets the person reading it know this is your capability. Use bullet points. We want to stay away from overly aggressive or wordy sentences, because these are decision makers and they have quick, they have a short amount of time to read through your capability statement and see if the keywords or percentages or certifications reach out to them as what they're looking for. Use short sentence fragments. Do not write long narratives. Use simple language, direct and to the point. Do not include trade language or jargon, because you got to make sure that people on the other end might understand what you're talking about. It might be relevant to you, but to the reader, we want to make sure that even if you use some jargon, make sure there's an explanation with it that's not too wordy. We want to, put any branding or logos that are approved. Often I'll have clients or businesses with capability statements, and they'll have agency logos on it. Especially federal government, they don't allow a lot of their logos to be placed on your capability statement if it's not approved by them, because it almost appears like you're representing them. So we want to make sure any logos, certification logos or anything of that nature, if they are not approved, like your 8A or HubZone or Women Owned, make sure these things are approved to go on your capability statement, because you're going to have it written in a bullet format, but you want to make sure any logos or partnership that they are approved. You want to make sure you include key certifications, key NAICS codes, key registration aspects that let that person know that you are ready to do business. Your CAGE code, that you're SAM active. It does you no good to have a CAGE code that's expired, right? Make sure your UEI code is in there. Before, you used to have a DUNS number. The DUNS number is no longer needed on the federal government perspective. That's what the UEI has replaced. So if you do have a capability statement already with a DUNS number on it, please replace that with your UEI number. Any corporate status that you might have, like if you're incorporated, if you're LLC, any federal or local codes or certifications, you're women-owned, maybe you are a Virgin Islands MBE, any professional license or certifications that you might have, especially as it relates to, because those things are very important, because it gives you that credibility that you are in business and you're doing business, and it gives that person the confidence that they can call you and bring you on immediately if that decision is made. Right. Your capability statement structure, and we were talking about introducing yourself to a company. We also want to highlight information your audience is requesting. If you know you're reading through or you've done your due diligence into a particular agency or a prime contractor, you want to make sure some of those things are prominent on your capability statement if you're soliciting that individual company. There's nothing wrong with having a base capability statement, but you want to adjust the wording or highlight certain wording as it relates to that particular person that you spoke to. If they ask you for a capability statement, go back and adjust that capability statement based on some of your conversations. That's providing the information and some past performance history, certifications that you know that that company is looking for. There's different ways to have a format when you're at a trade show versus bids or solicitations responses. Most trade shows or matchmaker or events, we want it in general, bold, highlighted terms, and where if you're putting it in from a solicitation standpoint, you want that capability statement to match up with what's offered in that solicitation. Any changes in your company status. I want to make sure your capability statements are up to date. Capabilities change, past performance history change. If you know you're going after government work, we might want to, in your past performance sections of your capability statement, you want to make sure some of your government past performance history are noted a little bit, maybe more than your commercial side or vice versa, depending on what the commercial industry is. Because the number one business that the federal government and most state governments like to do business with are businesses they've done business with before, or businesses who've done work in the government marketplace. So those things are very relevant. And any core competencies in which the agency are interested in. That's why I do due diligence, working with your Apex Accelerator counselor. We can assist you and understand how to craft your capability statement in the appropriate manner. Right. What should your capability statement do for you? It acts as an introduction to your company, right? Identify your government points of contact. Right? Communicate what's best defined about your company. Show that you know how to talk government. It's very important that you be able to understand the language of in any government space. I know we at the Apex Accelerators help you understand how to read through the jargon, how to be able to speak the language, especially when you're responding to solicitations. They like to see that you're using some of the words that they've used and be able to understand some of that language, especially if you're sitting across from a particular contracting person or procurement person from an agency or with a prime contractor. Be able to speak that language in terms that helps them feel comfortable that you actually get it. Define your core competencies and illustrate them in past performance. Clearly state what sets you apart. That's called the differentiator section that we work with you on. One bullet, most people like to have, the top engineering company in the region. Those are speculative terms, right? It's different if you say Small Business of the Year award or 98% quality rating. Those are measurable bullet points that can set you aside on your capability statement and not just general terms that we're the best engineering firm. So that's what a capability statement should be. It should be measurable, provable, and it speaks to what that person reading is looking for. And clearly states what sets you apart from your competition. Let prime contractors know that they can talk to you, right? And if they want to talk to you, they can talk to you because your capability statement is formatted in a way that they're comfortable with. Right. Now, let's talk about aligning your capability statement with agency needs and getting and understanding how to actually market and do the outreach and solicit that capability statement. The first thing that you want to do, and we help you do at the Apex Accelerators, is research the agency's missions and procurement goals, what they're looking for before you start to just find email addresses and just blanket send your capability statement out. What we do at the Apex Accelerator is help you craft an elevator pitch targeted at specific businesses and industry. And then in that elevator pitch, and we attach your capability statement to it, it's going to be targeted in a way that highlights your services, products, and your certifications last. What I tend to move our clients away from is most of them have an elevator pitch that starts off with their certifications. For example, I'm a small minority, woman-owned, veteran-owned, 8A business located in, so you're going 2 sentences before you actually telling the reader what you actually sell or what you actually do. We want to reverse that. We want to start off any elevator pitch with your introduction of who you are, what you sell, what you do, who do you sell it to, where do you sell it? And then you end with, in addition to also being a woman-owned veteran 8A hub zone business, right? We want to end it with that, with those carrots and not start that up front. Because they have limited time to read through the multiple emails that they're going to be receiving. And we also, in that elevator pitch, you want to ask for a follow-up meeting. You want to ask for a follow-up meeting. You want to ask for a time to talk. Often people will send out solicitations and leave it up to the person reading it to ask them for a conversation. Ask them for a follow-up. If you know that company has a particular solicitation that they've won, especially a prime contractor, they want some, put it in there. I also noticed that you've won contract under the Department of Energy. I'll welcome the opportunity to discuss being a partner or a subcontractor on this particular project as well. Or if you know the agency, or you know the small business liaison officer, right? So let's talk about where we go to find how to and who to solicit your capability statement to. The first thing you can do is you can go into sam.gov. You can filter by NAICS codes, your industry codes. You can go to awards, awarded, and see who's winning. And you see who's winning, and then it's going to show their email address, their contact information, and you can use that to solicit your capability statement to. You can also find out who the contracting office is. It's very rare that you're going to get the email address for the contracting officer, but the contracting office, the office that actually put out the solicitation, will be noted on all the solicitations, and then you can build your capability statement and solicit it to them. You might not get a response, but it doesn't mean they're not reading it. Quite often, they can make decisions based on the dollar amount that they can just possibly do no bid awards. And if they have your capability statement, they know that you're there. So I reiterate, you can go into sam.gov, filter by the NAICS code industry and awarded contracts, see who's winning to be able to solicit to those prime contractors and which contracting office put out those solicitation, and you can solicit in that manner. You can also go into usaspending.gov. It'll tell you which agencies are spending the most money in your particular field or service or NAICS code. And that'll help you make smarter, efficient. If the Department of Army is spending more money in procuring your product or service than Department of Navy or the Department of Interior, then you might want to focus on the Department of Army and who's winning and which contracting offices are putting those out. GSA schedule. GSA schedule is one of the tools, one of the contracting tools used where a lot of services and products are bought in bulk, purchased in bulk. It also shows you which agencies are buying it and which prime contractors have schedules that you might solicit to. And again, the VI Apex Accelerator will help you research and find these particular contracting offices and professionals to be able to solicit your capability statement to. NASPO, National Association of Procurement Officials for every state and territory. This website links you to every state and every territory procurement office and who are in charge of those procurement offices. You can solicit to any state agencies. We'll also go down to the city agencies to be able to solicit your capability statement to at the state and local level. And be able to go into, and you also want to go to prime contractor websites, your Boeings, your SAICs, your Lockheed Martins, or any other prime contractors. You want to do your due diligence on who's winning these contracts and get in touch with their small business liaison officers on the prime side, because they're responsible for the business solicitations. And you can also ask them who in the program side or procurement side in those corporations that are making those key decisions, right? And that's one way when we look at how to do research and find out which agencies and their core competencies, their mission, and then you can adjust your capability statement accordingly, and then some of the various ways that do outreach. And it'll help you customize your capability statements for those particular opportunities and put keywords in your capability statement, relevant NAICS codes that they're looking for, and things of that nature. All right. So let's continue with the marketing and outreach portion. Using your capability statement for growth is a very broad statement, right? How do we email it? And we talked about that. Getting your elevator pitch in place, being able to reach out to small business liaison offices in corporate industry, create your elevator pitch paragraph, ask for the opportunity to meet, mention services and products, and any certifications before you get into any of your, mention your service and products before you get into your certifications, right? Request for a meeting, and follow up after networking events and conferences. And do it, you want to do it sooner than later, because if you're meeting someone in matchmakers, trade shows, you want to make sure you follow up with them and be rememberable when you are meeting with them. Make sure they remember you in some way. That way you want to know the history of the company, what they're looking for. Give them something that lets them know that you know something about them when you're outside of giving them your capability statement. And some capability statements, like I said, might be asked for in any request for information or request for proposals, only if requested. And some of the best practices when we're looking to optimize our capability statement, keep it updated regularly, tailor it to each opportunity, keep design clean and professional, ensure accuracy of codes and certifications. And you also want to make sure that you continue to reach back out to us at Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator as a client to ensure we are continuously monitoring and looking at your capability statement to ensure it matches up with who you're soliciting it to. And if you can notice the capability statement, which is an example of one that we use, we call it a capability statement. You have the logo. We have a general overview, you know, who you are, where you are, your geographical footprint, where you do business, core services, any other services that are relevant, differentiators that are measurable, that are relevant to who you're sending it to, and general past performance history. Who did you do business with? What did you do for them? You know, maybe the dollar amount, if you can list that, you know, and a point of contact and the dates you perform. Clean, simple, to the point. And we have templates here at the Virginize Apex Accelerator. Some tips for success, right? We want to resist the temptation to share stories of woe, right? Stop telling a bunch of stories of how you didn't succeed, because you really want to focus on the positives and the growth going forward. The contracting officers or small business development or procurement professionals should not hear stories about all of your struggles. We want to stay away from that. Remember, being negative is a sure sign to fail. Have the right attitude. It's not government that makes the decision. It's people in the government that makes decisions. Always remember that. They need to know who you are, what you do, your qualifications, and your track record, your past performance history. We want to be aggressive in your marketing. You want to be dedicated. Be persistent, but don't be pushy. You don't want to keep following up sending capability statement every 3 or 4 days, right? We don't want you to become numb to them, but you want to send it out, follow up, you know, in a few weeks, but you don't want to clog up the inbox of the person you're reaching out to and be too overly aggressive. You don't want to have a whole bunch of calls to them because, like I mentioned, it's not the government that makes decisions. It's the people in the government or the people at those agencies you're soliciting to that makes those decisions. Your goal is to separate yourself and let them know that you get who they are and you can provide something to grow them as well. And this slide just shows another example of a capability statement that we work with our clients with. You know, we break it down in differentiators, company overview, core competencies. We want to make sure you have your cage codes, certifications, and we assist you in that capacity as well to be able to put the capability statement together. Okay. Hopefully we got a good grounding, a good foundation of the structure of a capability statement. You know, what should go in a capability statement, how to market a capability statement. And again, we put a little bit more time into helping you structure that and be able to solicit your capability statement accordingly at the Virginize Apex Accelerator. And, you know, today's presentation was to give you that general overview of the importance of having a capability statement and the importance of making that first impression and how to continue to market it efficiently and effectively to help you be able to leverage your capability statement to grow your business on the government contracting side. So I'm open to any questions. Sharika, I know you're monitoring the questions, so if we have any questions or if you want to allow them to ask me a questions, I'm open to that.
Thank you for that, Frank. We don't have any questions in the chat primarily, but persons can unmute their mic and ask directly. Okay, Frank, so I guess we don't have any questions. Oh, one just appeared in the chat. Do you have a
Okay.
list of companies that you work with so we can network? I would like to have my capability statement done by a marketing professional since it's complete as well as our logo.
So as a Virgin Islands Apex Accelerator client, we sit down with our clients, we evaluate their current capability statement. Often businesses will have a capability statement that's more commercial based. And what we try to do is frame that. There's nothing wrong with having that type of capability statement, but what we try to do is transform that commercialized capability statement into a government-friendly capability statement, because most commercial capability statements are filled with, they're really wordy. They have most often too much information that doesn't apply to the targeted audience on the government side. And what we do is we help you, based on your services and products, be able to find the government agencies or prime contractors in your industry to be able to reach out to. What we don't do is have just a blanket list of contracting officers. We can help you understand how to find the people targeted who you need to reach out to in that capacity. Because it's very important just not to flood and send your capability statement out to 6,000 people in the BCC. Often, a lot of these government contracting officers or SBLOs or procurement people have their emails set up not even to accept BCC emails. So people need to really understand that portion. So what I really want people to understand is it's not about just having a list, but understand how to put a strategy in place to reach out to people you're actively buying your products and services. I hope that answers the question.
There's another comment. Our capability statement has been reviewed and completed. We just want a polished look to it and would like a professional to do it.
Well, having a professional to do it is a business decision on that business end. But what we do is we offer the professionalism of helping you put your capability statement together in the government space. So I'm trying to understand the question. Is it that you're asking for us to advise you on who to go to for professional marketing, or maybe I'm still not understanding the actual question?
Okay, while we wait for a response, Selena, I see that you're
Yeah.
on mute. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, sure. Thank you for the presentation, Frank. It was very informative. My name is Selena. I represent Tyson Tech, and we're a local environmental engineering and consulting firm based out of the U.S. Virgin Islands. We do primarily like service private industry, but we also do work for the government sector. And so I saw that to provide services, we would have to make sure that we're registered through the VI Apex website. And so I went on the website and there's like 6 steps. Would that be the process for us to be able to start requesting any services we would need?
So thank you again, Selena, for that. And so when you register on the webs, when you register, we evaluate your application, and
Right.
then we set up a meeting. So then the services start. We do an evaluation, understand your business, understand who you are, and then we move forward from there in the capacity based on where you're looking to go and what goals you're looking to achieve and what industry you're looking to sell in. We provide any advice in that capacity. So the steps with us is about us evaluating you as a client and assisting you. Then we look at where you need to register in any state or federal databases and assist with. Some clients, businesses will often come and say, well, I'm registered with Apex Accelerator, you know, is this the same as sam.gov? And I try to tell people, you register with us because we track our clients, because we have to report our interactions, our conversations, and how we've assisted any clients. So it's a separate process than going into federal government databases. We assist you with all of that. Does that sort of explain that a little bit?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Like I said, we do work in the government sector, so we're first. But I think just having this as a resource is great. And
Yeah.
like I said, thank you again. And so definitely we'll make sure we get registered, and hopefully everything goes well with the registration process so that we can start utilizing services if necessary. Thanks.
Thank you. And what's the name of your company again? So I'll look out for your application.
Tysam Tech,
Okay.
TYSAMTCH.
Okay, looking forward to speaking with you in the near future.
Likewise. Thanks, Frank.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so as we go back to the initial question, the person is asking if there's a company that does marketing that you can refer them to have their logo developed and their capability statement designed professionally, since they have all the content and it has been reviewed through the VI Apex.
So the Apex accelerators, if you're a client of Apex Accelerator, we'll look in our database and see if one of our clients offer that service, and we might refer you to one of our clients. We don't refer B2B. We do business to government. So we don't focus on helping you go out and find a private business to do business with. If they're one of our clients, we'll ask one of our clients if they want to entertain talking to one of our other clients. But we don't do B2B. We do business to government contracting.
Thanks, Frank. Based on the chat, that answered the question.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I guess it's safe to advance to the next slide because I don't see anyone's hand raised at this time.
Okay.
Okay, so as we get that slide to advance, I'll just go ahead and say the VI SBDC has so much more in store for you as VI small businesses. You can visit our website at www.visbdc.org. Download the VI SBDC app on your mobile device from the appropriate app store. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google Business, and you can subscribe to the VI SBDC YouTube channel for new uploads of our on-demand webinars. I do want to spotlight a few of our upcoming trainings. We have tomorrow our business development series continuing, and that session is entitled Weathering the Storm, a Business Continuity Framework. It's going to be given by our State Director, John Morosco. On May 29th, we have the Business Plan Canvas, Designing Your Entrepreneurial Journey. That session is going to be taught by our VISBDC, one of the VISBDC advisors, Mr. Darrell Edwards. On May 30th, we have Safety in Paradise, and they're going to be presenting safety and health practices for USVI businesses. On June 3rd, we have the SBA office presenting on resources every small business should know as it pertains to the SBA. On June 4th, we have VBOC. They're going to be presenting an introduction to business ownership. On the 11th of June, we have VBOC presenting understanding markets and competitive space. On the 12th, we have VI Apex back again, and they're going to be presenting on how to become a federal subcontractor. On the 13th, we will be hosting Pivoting for Growth, Turning Challenges into Opportunities. On June 17th, we have Securing an SBA Loan for Your Business, How to Get Approved. On June 18th, we have VBOC, The Economics of Small Business Startup. And on June 20th, we have The Ripple Effect, How Small Steps Leads to Large Wins. So I don't see any more questions at this time. So once again, I would like to encourage everyone to check their emails, take a few minutes, fill out the survey that lets us know how we're doing. Attached to that email will be a copy of today's presentation. It's always a pleasure collaborating with VI Apex to deliver these types of webinars to our small business community. So once again, to everyone here in attendance, thank you for your time. On behalf of the entire VI SPDC network, compliments of State Director John Morosco. Enjoy the rest of your day.